young, we are teenagers, and you know, yeah, Tandizinto, we like things, and there are these things like chat rooms, you know, and everybody's kind of involved in it, and you have access to it on your cell phone. So today we have this very cool guy by the name of Pete in the building. He is a doctor, and he is responsible for this very cool organization that helps protect us online. So Pete, thank you so much for being in studio with us today.
Thank you very much.
Let's just start off at the beginning. What made you decide to start this cool organization that protects us online?
Well, I work in technology, and I've realized that many parents today haven't used the technologies that their children are using. You know, when they were young, those services weren't around. So it's difficult for them to guide their children. So the aim of this organization is to educate parents really as to technologies, what are the potential dangers, so that they don't overreact when they come into
What are these potential dangers that you talk of?
So online, there are lots of dangers in terms of chat rooms. Most chat rooms are really for adults only. So children should stay away from that. Then there are risks for children in terms that they might share pictures that could spread worldwide.
Yes.
Justin Bieber nogal.
Yes, so the message there is think before you post anything. And lastly, people on the internet aren't always who they say they are.
They could be pretending.
Yes, they could be pretending. So be very careful when you chat to someone that you don't know. And it's the safest thing for kids to do is really to stick to conversations with their friends.
Yes.
If they do have a hobby, there's nothing wrong with talking to strangers about that hobby. But it's not a good idea to talk to strangers about romantic relationships.
That's not a great idea. So Pete, we went onto Facebook and we got some of our questions from the youth. And Anke Modise, she's asking, can I open a police case against some users who are nasty and insulting?
Good question.
At a certain point you can, but I would suggest talking to someone you trust first, like your parents or a teacher, a counselor. And then, look, if you feel your safety is at risk, then one could escalate it to the police.
All right, we've got another question from Ole Bile who says, I've got a stalker. How do I stop that person from stalking me? That is very important because sometimes people, you can't ignore the person because they're actually following you and they're talking to you the whole time.
Yes. If it's happening online, you could always change your online identity. When it comes to a cell phone number, unfortunately, you would have to change your cell phone number. If it's on a social network, you can block specific people.
Yes.
Or you can unfriend
change your
them.
profile,
Yes, you can unfriend them. Each social network has got a safety policy, and there they give guidelines. Mxit, for instance, has certain commands that you can use to deal with stalkers. So read the safety tips on the social network that you use.
Okay, cool. And we've got one last question from Ferbidel Mabuza, and she says, yes, I used to get invites from guys who claim to know me. I just wonder how they get my contacts because some even call me. What can I do to avoid strange invites?
That's very important. You have to keep your personal details personal.
Yes.
Your cell phone number, share it with your friends. On Facebook, set your privacy settings that only your friends can see certain things. And also don't just befriend anyone.
Exactly.
Because often you share things that can be seen by friends of friends, and if you befriend someone that you haven't even met yet, you know you're putting your details out there. So privacy, keep things close to you.
So it's not only online, it seems to be a big issue for you guys, and you are calling in to find out. Dalen, what's up?
Hey, Dalen.
Hello.
How are you? Apparently you use chat rooms, am I right?
Yeah.
So do you have a question for our doctor today about what you want to know? Do you have a question?
Not exactly.
You don't have a question, but just be safe when you're using the chat room, okay?
Okay.
Do you have
You want
anything
to
harder
say
for
hi
someone?
to anybody?
I'd like to say hi to my mom, my dad, and everybody who knows me.
Thank you so much for calling in, Dalen.
Pete, can I ask a quick question? Just one last question. There's one bit of advice, one short sentence to give advice to the youth out there in terms of chat rooms. What would it be?
Think before you post anything. And a second one is people aren't always who they say they are.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being in studio and teaching us.
Thank you so much. It's been absolutely great. You've just educated a whole lot of youth in Mzansi. Guys, when we come back, we're